People have died doing this breathing exercise, and I'm talking about the Wim Hof breathing technique. Now, I've been doing the Wim Hof breathing technique for almost a year now. I started doing it because a buddy of mine suggested it when I was having some migraines. He was like, hey, here's some Wim Hof breathing technique. That'll clear you right up. And it did. So I continued to do it. And almost a year later, I still feel like it benefits me doing it daily. So, what is the Wim Hof breathing technique? It's a series of 30 to 40 deep breaths and exhales. And that goes like this 30 to 40 times. And then after that 30 or 40th time, you just want to hold that breath out. And anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute and a half is what I typically do. And then you take a deep breath in. And you'll hold that for 15 seconds before you exhale. And that's typically when I feel that little bit of a high, as you can say. And then you just repeat the process over. I typically do about 3 sessions, or 3 rounds, should I say, per session. And yeah, I definitely feel like it has benefited me to make it a part of my daily routine. Now, people have died doing this breathing technique. And the commonality in that is people would do this technique in water. Now, I read over 3 to 4 different articles about different instances when this has happened. And the commonality is doing this exercise in water. I can't tell you how it is doing it in water because I've never done it. And I probably will never do this breathing technique in water. But what I will say is I have done it a few different ways. And in just a little bit, I'll tell you the exact way I do it now, where I feel like it's the best version of it for myself. So, why do people do the Wim Hof breathing technique? Well, here's 7 reasons why, and I can get on board with just about every single one of them. Number 1. Increased oxygen levels. The technique floods the body with oxygen, which can increase energy levels and reduce feelings of fatigue. Now, I'll say I have had days where I'm about midway through and I'm feeling sluggish, fogged brain, and just wanting to kind of throw the towel in for the day. And I've done a Wim Hof breathing session, and it has picked me right back up. And that is one of the reasons why I continue to do it to this day. Number 2. Improve focus and mental clarity. The practice requires concentration, helping individuals enter a meditative state and sharpen mental focus. I sit at my desk all day for work, and I'll tell you, I don't get a clearer mind throughout the day. Be feeling sluggish and my brain's all foggy. Well, I'll just do some Wim Hof breathing, and it really will pick me right back up and get me through the rest of my work. And I can say that I've been doing that now for almost a year, and it has helped me 9 times out of 10. It's got me back on track and has let me focus in on the tasks that I am focused in on for that day. Number 3, stress reduction. It can activate the parasympathetic nervous system, promoting relaxation and lowering stress levels. One night, my wife and I were out and about, and we decided that we were going to stop in at a gas station and pick up something to drink and some snacks and stuff. Well, the whole day was kind of urgent. The day was very stressful. I was dealing with just a little bit of anxiety, and so I asked her to just go in for us, and she did. And while she was in there, I pulled up a guided Wim Hof breathing session on YouTube, and just a short one. And yeah, I, made sure my car was in park. I actually didn't even have the car on. I wanted it to be completely silent in there. No humming from the car, no nothing. The windows were rolled up, and I just turned on the video, did a couple rounds, and yeah, it actually cleared it right up. And by the time my wife was coming back out, I was in a much cheery, more easygoing mood, and I was very grateful for that. So yeah, I can attest to the stress reduction. Number 4, enhanced immune function. Research has shown that this breathing technique can help influence the automatic nervous system and potentially boost immune responses. I have been under the weather and done the Wim Hof breathing session, and it's helped me relax and helped me get my body and mind to a clearer state while being sick, which ultimately I feel like helps the body get better. But overall, over this past year, I've probably only gotten sick or, had symptoms only 2 or 3 times. Can I say that it's directly related to the Wim Hof breathing technique? No, I can't. But I will say, why take the chance? If I can do it daily, Why not do it daily? I have had experiences where I'll be a little congested, and during one of the breath holds, I can actually feel that congestion kind of like loosen up a little bit with like not taking any medicine or anything. I'm not trying to tell you to throw out all your medications or anything, but I will say that if you're not feeling so good, try the Wim Hof method. It'll probably help you reduce a little bit of that stress. And I would say that doing it daily may even keep some of those illnesses at bay. Number 5, improved resilience to cold. Practicing Wim Hof breathing alongside gradual cold exposure like cold showers or ice baths can increase tolerance to cold by improving circulation and adaptation. This doesn't necessarily mean do the Wim Hof breathing in the bathtub, or do the Wim Hof breathing in the shower, or do it in water at all. Because clearly, like I said, people have lost their lives doing it that way. I'm also not saying that you don't do the Wim Hof breathing session and then later in the day do a cold plunge, or vice versa. I think alongside means keeping those practices in your days, but again, don't mix the two. Don't do the Wim Hof breathing in water. There may be some crazy benefits out there for it, but clearly people have lost their lives, so don't mix this technique in these sessions with cold plunges and other kind of ice baths and all that jazz. Number 6, emotional release. Some people report a sense of emotional release or catharsis after practicing the breathing technique. There are times where I'll feel a little down, a little sad, a little depression, maybe some seasonal depression. And what I like about the Wim Hof method is it lets me like close my eyes, and especially the way I do it, which I'll tell you about in just a second, lets me close my eyes, and my mind does wander a little bit, but with the guided version of the Wim Hof breathing, I tend to find myself wandering towards more positive thoughts, which ultimately turns bad moods into good moods. If you have like clinical depression, I'm not saying it's going to help you there. It's definitely worth a shot, but definitely I feel like the Wim Hof breathing method has helped me emotionally as well. I am a much happier person this last year. A lot of good things have been happening, but what came first, the good feelings or the good things? I would argue the good feelings came first. Number 7, pain management. By stimulating the release of endorphins and influencing the body's perception of pain, it may help manage chronic or acute pain. It may help. I haven't personally experienced this. I don't find myself in a lot of pain all the time, but if you're out there and you're not feeling so hot right now, click that Wim Hof breathing session in the description and give it a shot. If you've never done it before, try the beginner version. Shorter breath holds. Now, I've done the Wim Hof breathing technique multiple different ways. I've done it sitting down, cross-legged on the ground. I've done it laying down. I've done it in the car. I've done it outside. But the best way that I've figured out how to do this for me is to sit in a chair, and then I want to make sure that my knees are at a 90-degree angle. I'm going to lower the armrests if they're armrests. If not, I'm going to try to pull my arms in so my shoulders can sit nice and relaxed. Then I want to make sure that my head can relax against something, as well as my back, specifically my lower back, because I try to keep my body as completely relaxed and try not to use as much as my body as possible. Now, I've done the guided sessions and I've done my own sessions where I'm timing it myself. I've always found that I'm kind of taken out of the meditative state when I reach to hit the timer. I would highly suggest doing the guided videos that he has on YouTube, which I've linked in the description. But then the cool trick, this is the thing that I feel like really locked me in. What I'll do is I'll open up the YouTube video on my desktop, and then I'll also open up my Spotify app and I'll look for nature sounds. Now, the reason why I don't do like meditation sounds or lo-fi or any kind of music is because I feel like it will clash with the video that I'm listening to from Wim Hof, because he has his own music and he has like drums and stuff like that. But I can really get immersed, and when I can close my eyes, relax my entire body, and listen to like the sounds of wind or rain or birds kind of chirping in the background, it really helps me like let go and really feel relaxed during the sessions. And so that's the way I do my Wim Hof breathing sessions. Honestly, I try to do it as often as I possibly can. I've had streaks of like 30 and 40 and 50 days of doing it every single day. And how I can practice this every day is writing it into my schedule. And I'll tell you this, writing out my day early in the morning is super important. And if you click the video right here, I'll go over exactly how I plan out my day every day.